Welcome back, troops, to Let's Tab 59. What a cracking day. A cracking morning. Really pretty autumn, early autumn, Saturday. So I'm out for a tab now. Haven't done much planning on this video, but then I don't do that anyway, do I really? There's been a lot of chatter online, and a little bit in the media too, about veterans that are planning to turn their back on Remembrance Sunday up in London at the Cenotaph when the current Prime Minister comes out to lay his wreath of poppies at the Cenotaph. And there's obviously a lot of divided opinion on this. So, for those of you who don't know, some veterans feel, or a lot of veterans feel, they've been let down by this government, especially by the current Prime Minister, in that they don't agree with his policies, they don't agree with the way he's treating pensioners by taking the winter fuel allowance away. I mean, even just recently, he's given some island out in the Indian Ocean back to another country, Mauritius or whatever. And of course, Argentina started to rattle the old sabre a little bit. And they're thinking, oh, we'll jump on the bandwagon here. Maybe we can get the Falklands back. In fact, I think someone out there in Argentina has vowed to get the Falklands back. But that's not what this video is about. What it's about is veterans, the veteran community, and their split feelings of whether they should or should not, on Remembrance Sunday at the Cenotaph in London, turn their backs when the Prime Minister lays his wreath. So, let's talk about that for a moment. Now, I've been up there a few times. I've stood there when I was a serving soldier in uniform, not part of the parade, just stood there observing by the Cenotaph. And I've also taken part once in the parade itself, and I did that as a veteran. I think it's 2017. Now, those of you out there that have done that as a veteran, if you have, you'll remember that you go over to, because you can't just rock up and join in the parade like you can in your local town. You have to have a ticket, and you have to belong to some sort of association or group. I was actually with the Not Forgotten Association, and you make your way to Horse Guards Parade, and on Horse Guards Parade there's different sort of sections where you go. So you have a ticket that has, say, Delta 2 on it, D2, and you make your way over to that table or that area, and that's your contingency, your contingent rather, and you line up with them, and then eventually you move from Horse Guards Parade to your forming up point on Whitehall itself, which is the Whitehall in Westminster. That's where the Cenotaph is. Big long road, and some other memorials down there, and you get all formed up, and it's a long, long wait. And mostly the veterans, because they're strung out down the road, they can't physically see what's going on at the Cenotaph itself. Depends on whereabouts you are forming up on that parade, but certainly where I was, I couldn't see the Cenotaph. But there is large TV screens, mobile TV screens. So while you're stood there waiting for everything to start taking place, you can look up at the big screen and see what's going on. So that's the first point, because you're not going to see, most of you won't see the Prime Minister and his entourage and all the other politicians. You won't see them direct eyeball see them coming out to lay their wreath. You'll have to look up at the big screen and see that moment when he comes out. And of course, that's when many are going to plan to do an about turn while he does that. So that's the first bit. He's probably not going to see that. Certainly not on the day. He isn't going to see you turn your backs. He'll see it when he reruns the fun on TV, but he's not going to see it on the day. He's going to be aware of it. He knows. He's got his people around him, his advisors. They're going to tell him it's on the cards. But here's the thing. The argument stands at the moment between veterans and the community that is it the right time and place to make such a protest? because it's all about remembering the glorious dead on that day. Then the other side is saying it's our chance as veterans to show our disapproval, our disdain for the current government and in particular the Prime Minister. It sends a powerful, silent signal to him that we're not happy. So here's a good opportunity to make their feelings known. My problem with it is this. Is it going to split the veteran community? Because there's those that want to do that, turn their backs, and there's those that feel it's not the right time to do that, and they won't turn their backs. Obviously, the serving members of the armed forces won't do that because they just can't. They're under orders, they're on parade. If they turn their back, they're going to get it. They're going to get short shrift, so they can't do it. Supporters or veterans that aren't taking part in the parade that have gathered near the cenotaph, obviously, if they want to do that, they can turn their backs. And he'll see that. He'll see that. He won't see the parade doing it, like I say, lined up, but he will see the veterans and supporters and the general public around the cenotaph. He'll see them turn their backs. Is it going to worry him? Probably not. He don't seem to be worried about much, does he? So my worry is, like I say, it's going to split the veteran community. We're all one big brotherhood and sisterhood. And if you imagine you're stood there on the parade waiting to march up past the cenotaph, and you're looking up at the big telly, out comes the PM to lay his wreath. Some people are going to turn their back and some aren't. Now, after the parade, not everybody, but after the parade, most people go down to Boozer. They find the nearest pub. I remember when I done it, we went up to Sherlock Holmes, I think, and had a few drinks in there. Is that going to cause a rift? Are people going to go, well, see that bloke over there, I stood next to him, he didn't turn his back. He must like the Prime Minister, or someone else is going to say the opposite. And that's what I'm worried about, a split. And I'll tell you why. The other day I watched a video on YouTube, on here, and I think it was entitled something like, it was out in America, it was out in New York City, about 4 years ago. And it was veterans, World War II veteran, arguing with other veterans, younger veterans. The younger veterans were there protesting against Trump. Quite a big protest. It's on Veterans Day. And they're all lined on the streets and got posters and banners moaning about Trump. And this World War II veteran got all his gear on, bless him. And he was having a go at these younger veterans, saying it's not whether you believe in what Trump's doing or what he's not doing. It's not about that today, it's Veterans Day. And he was saying, I've served in the Second World War, I think he was out in the Pacific fighting the Japanese in World War II. And he said, you're not true patriots. Doesn't matter about your politics, you're serving the president, he's the commander-in-chief, if you like. And so today's not the day to do that. And it really got into the old boy, this old World War II veteran, wanted to punch somebody. He was swearing, effing and blinding. He said, I want to punch this bloke. I want to punch him. Somebody give me a gun. He said, I'll shoot him. He was having a right old crack at him. And it really did divide the veteran community at that particular moment. And that's what my concern is. If veterans do turn their backs, some will, some won't, is that going to cause a division amongst the veteran community? Because, like I say, we're all brothers and sisters. And we've all got the right to do it. We can all do what we want. And as I say, it's a powerful gesture towards the government and the Prime Minister in particular. But is it the right thing to do? I've got to say that I'm not going to be up there on Remembrance Sunday. But I don't know for sure, I think if I was there, I don't think I would turn my back. As much as I don't like the guy, and I don't like his government, I don't do politics, but I don't like him. Now, here's the thing. We've had lots of prime ministers over the years, obviously, and us veterans, us older guys and girls, we remember a lot of them. And we've served under them, either as a serving armed forces person, or we've been there as a veteran. Tony Blair, for instance, Tony Blair, he took us into Iraq. I mean, people want him up for war crimes, don't they? People talk about Tony Blair sent us in Iraq. We shouldn't have gone. There was no weapons of mass destruction. A lot of people didn't like what he did. But he didn't do it to him. Some people didn't like Margaret Thatcher. But I don't remember an instance of, on a Remembrance Sunday, when she came out to lay a wreath, that people turned their backs on her. So what I'm saying is, why is it all of a sudden happen with this guy? Other prime ministers have done stuff that's pretty bad. Like I say, Tony Blair with a war crimes thing, send us to Iraq. Margaret Thatcher, a lot of people didn't like her. So why him? Well, he is bad, isn't he? But what I mean is, should we be doing it on that day? Me personally, you want my personal opinion? You can have a go at me in the comments for this. It's personal choice, remember. It's a free country, supposedly. We're all supposed to be able to protest in a peaceful way how we want to. But for me, Remembrance Sunday, Armistice Day as well, if they fall separate, to me is a very, very special day. I've got family members from the First World War that died fighting, and I've got friends that I served with that died on operations. So for me personally, let's tab 59, for me, Remembrance Sunday and Armistice Day is all about them, the glorious dead. Nothing to do. I wasn't up there in 2017 for whichever Prime Minister it was. I can't even remember. I don't give a monkeys about them. They're nothing to me. They are absolutely nothing to me. Whether I voted for them or not, I didn't vote for this guy. And I don't like him. But it's not about that. For me, that's a special day for me to make my personal remembrance in my head and think about those people that have fallen and sacrificed. It's not a day for me to make some sort of protest against a government, whether I agree with them or not. So I'd be interested to know what your personal thoughts are on the subject. As I say, it's a very special day for me, and I know it's a very special day for a lot of veterans out there. And should that be the day that we actually do something like that and protest against it? Hi there. As I say, if you go onto YouTube, and I wish I had the full title for you, it's World War II veteran, something like turning her back on Trump, I can't remember, but it's on Veterans Day. And I was quite saddened in a way to see these veterans. You know, we all served under the same flag. These veterans served under the same flag, took the same oaths, all that malarkey. There they were, divided by some president. Yes, that's the boss of that's their commander-in-chief, I get that. It's not about politicians. It really isn't about, Remembrance Sunday is not about the politicians. It's about us remembering the glorious dead. Nothing to do with them idiots in number 10, whichever colour party's in there. I don't give a monkeys about what colour they're in there. It's not about the royal family. I mean, I quite like the royal family, but it's not about them. It's not about them. Here's the thing. If we want to, as veterans, protest against the government, why don't we organise a protest, put your kit on, bang your gongs on, bang your berry on, your blazer and all that malarkey, meet up in London and march up to number 10 and turn your back on him there. So march up, line up in front of number 10 or wherever he happens to be and just do an about turn and have a minute's silence or something. Protest that way. That way you can choose to go and do that. But let's not split the veteran community over some idiot that don't give a monkeys. Don't give him the satisfaction, don't give him anything. He'll know it's going to happen, and some people are going to do this anyway, I know they are. And fair play to them, I'm not taking, if you want to do that, I haven't got a drama with it. Me personally, it's not about that day. On that day, it's about me remembering friends and family, you know, ancestors, if you like, that have fallen. That's what it's about for me. Anyway, my little rant. Sure, I'm going to get a bit of stick in the comments. I don't really give a monkeys. Say what you like. It don't bother me. I've got thick skin, I've got broad shoulders. I don't give a monkeys what you're going to say about me. I really don't. It's my pennyworth. You can have your pennyworth in the comments if you like. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. You won't convince me. Nothing you can say in the comments is going to convince me that if I was there, I'd turn my back, so I wouldn't. So I say it's not about that. I don't agree with the bloke, but it's not about that. Okay, little rant over. So we are about, what, 6 weeks away, something like that, from Remembrance Sunday. Hope you've all got plans. Don't forget you get your kit sorted out. Make sure your medals are all ready if you're going anywhere for your Remembrance Sunday. Me and the Trace around certainly are. We're going to be Best Bib and Tucker and fell in, and a few drinks afterwards to remember fallen comrades, etc. So, from a very, very beautiful sunny Saturday morning in Lincolnshire, United Kingdom, I mean, it is stunning. Have a quick look. There's a church in the background there, the village church. All the winter veg is in, look. All the harvests have been done for the cereal crops. But it's all done. And as I tab back up this way, I've just noticed one of my subscribers. He's hiding in the bushes. You've met him before. Ben's out tabbing. Morning, Ben.
Morning, you alright?
Yeah. Say hello to everyone, Ben.
Hey, guys.
So,
Never disturb you.
no. So, from me and Ben, stay safe. Until next time, remember,
Let's tab.
let's tab.